Hi guys, this is a short video showing you how to use PowerPoint to make your music video assignment. It's a really good low-tech option that works on pretty much all of the school computers and you don't need to be too savvy with animations. Start by opening PowerPoint and just choosing a blank presentation. Now your first slide that they have for you has an option to add text. So what you want to do is you want to add some new slides that are blank. So each slide will have a single picture on it, which means you're probably going to end up with quite a few, somewhere between maybe 20 and 50. And when you go back to the first slide, you can just simply click on the text boxes and delete them, or the easiest way is just to delete the slide entirely. So as I said, each slide's going to have a picture, and you do this by first of all finding your pictures and saving them. But once you have, insert and picture, you can see I have a folder where I put my music video pictures. You also notice that quite a few of my pictures, when I hover over them here, are quite a big size. So you've got 4 megabytes. I've chosen big pictures so that when I make them enlarge, they're not going to go blurry. So I will put them in order. So I'll start with this one as the picture I wanted to go first. And you'll notice that when I insert it, I've got these white spaces. I actually want my picture to cover the entire box. So what I'm going to have to do is just drag it by the corner. And you can see in the display what's actually going to appear in the window. So I can move it down a little bit or up a little bit as I need and have a look in the display. But I don't want any bits at the bottom or bits at the sides that aren't picture. And then I need to do that for each of the pictures that I've collected. So I'm just going to skip ahead for you. Okay, so I've added all of the pictures that I've collected, and I want to point out a few things to you. While some of them fit quite well, there are a few interesting ones like this one here, and the picture I found, it has black at the top and bottom anyway. So while I could make it bigger, it will get even blurrier just to get rid of those black bits. So you might make a decision to overlook that. I think it kind of fits with the grey. Even though I could go back and find another picture, I might keep this one. And I've also got this one here, which wasn't a landscape picture. If I zoom it back out for you, just by grabbing the corner, it's actually a portrait picture. And even though I quite like it, again, I would have to make it quite large to get rid of this white space, and it's going to get even more blurry. So in this case, I'm going to decide to either go back and find another picture, or just for this purposes, I'm going to delete it at this stage. So I'm going to actually get rid of that slide completely. Okay. Once I have all my pictures in, I might find that I like them in a different order. So you can always just click on the slide and drag it. So these are a little bit out of order to when I had in mind. The first 3 are right. Then I think I had this one, and that. Okay. Now even though you've got all your pictures, what I suggest is that your very first slide be a blank black slide, and the way you do that is again just inserting a blank one. Even though it goes at the bottom, I can pull it up, and then I go to the design tab and the background, solid, I'm going to choose black. Okay. The reason I do that is because that's how my video will start, and then it will actually fade into the first picture. The way you transition and make it into a fade is you choose the transitions tab when you've clicked on the first slide. You've got lots of different options, but again, some of them are a bit too comical and you want something smooth. So have a play, but my favorite is probably fade. And you also have the option to fade through black or fade smoothly. That depends on you. I like fade smoothly, and I can click on each slide and do that again, but there's a little cheat button. Once I've got that, I can just do apply to all, and I know that's worked because the little animation star has appeared next to each slide number. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm actually going to add my music. So the way I do that is I go to the insert, audio, and audio on my PC, because I've already downloaded my song and saved it onto the computer. So I've saved it in music, and there it is. And the way it appears is as this sound icon. Now you can make it quite small and try and hide it away in a corner if you like. makes it a little bit tricky to click on it again if you want to change things. There's also a way to make it disappear in the final video, so don't be too stressed about keeping it big. You do want it to go on the first slide, so make sure that it's not on the second or the third, it's always on the first slide. When you've clicked on it, you get this extra tab. So if you go to playback, there's a few things you need to set up. First of all, you're going to click play across all slides, so that way it'll play throughout. You also want it to start automatically, and you also want to hide it during the show, so that way they can't see the icon. There's a way to test this work simply by pressing the slideshow button, or you can go to slideshow and from beginning. So if you do that, you can hear it start straight away, and I have to press a button on the keyboard for it to go to the next slide. So you could kind of hear it crackling there at the beginning. It does have a slow intro, my song, but I could hear that it was working as soon as it started. Once you have all that, well, you can play for a few more things in terms of transitions and animations. That is the basics. So now you're ready to actually record your show. And the way you do that is you go to slideshow and record slideshow, and start from the beginning. Now when I click this, it's going to ask if I'm ready, and I'll go OK. It'll actually go full screen, and there will be a timer in the top corner. What I need to do is I need to press the keys on my keyboard to tell it to go to the next slide. So I need to time it myself. If I mess up, I can actually just go back and delete it and start again, but I'll show you how I go through it. And I'm not going to talk, I'm going to just listen to the music and decide when to press the key to go to the next picture. So if I start from beginning, I don't want narrations on because I don't want it to record my voice. I just want it to record the slideshow.
Somebody say does she love everything I can? Yeah, I know it's stupid, I just gotta see it for myself. I'm in the corner.
Now the reason it stopped like that is because I didn't have enough pictures to go through the entire song, so obviously you'll have more. It asked if I'm okay with that, and if I did mess up I could press no and start again. I am doing this in the morning, so that's the bell, but if I'm happy I click yes. Okay, and now that's recorded, so I can actually tell by playing it from the beginning, and it should just click through it for me. So I didn't touch anything, and that did it on its own because it recorded my timings. Finally, once you're happy, and again, please have a play with a few other things, like if you want the transition to be slower, you can play with that, make it go a bit slower. And if you want to make, say, the music fade out, you also have that option. So if you go to playback, you can do fade out. But once you're happy with everything, you simply go to File, Export, Create a Video, and Create Video, and you tell it where you want to save it. So in this case, I'm going to save it on the desktop as music video, and it will export it. Down here you can see that it's creating it. That does take a little while, so again I'm just going to pause because this is already a long video and just show you the final product. Okay, so my music video has been created now. The bar filled up and then disappeared. I might like to actually just save this as a normal PowerPoint if I'm not finished and I want to go back and edit it, or just to be safe in case I later realize that I want to make a change. But if I do minimize PowerPoint, you can see I've got this video file. That's what PowerPoint created for me, and I can now hand that up to the teacher on a USB. Daymap probably won't let me, it's too big, but I can click on it as well and I can check it that it actually works and I'm happy with it. So So that does work, and that's how you create your video using PowerPoint. I won't take up any more of your time, but if you do decide to use PowerPoint for your assignment, you have any more questions, don't hesitate to ask me in class or send me a message. Thanks guys.